Be the right club today.
Johnny, that's better than most.
How about in?
That is better than most. Better than most.
Expect anything different?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the No Laying Up Happy Hour presented by our friends at the FanDuel Sportsbook. Moody day in the big city. Looks like Drench City, USA to close out the Creator Classic tonight. TC, how are things down in Jacksonville?
Things are good. Just, hot, good. They're less hot than they were in Baltimore down here. Just very, very nice afternoon. Nice to be home, Neil. I ate too many Caesar salads last week.
You OD'd on Caesars at the Pendry in Baltimore. Great week at the BMW Championship. It is Tour Championship week. We're on to East Lake, and we've called in Big Randy, our resident creative expert. How are things, Big?
Things are great, Neil. What a riveting Creator Classic that was. T's and P's to the creators' equipment there at the end in the rain, Drench City. I know a lot of creation happening, ourselves included. I'm not going to put us above that. We got a fun thing coming out of this, but yeah, just hopefully all that equipment stayed dry. That's where my mind was.
Well, we'll talk about our very own Soly Solomon's T11, respectable T11 at the Creator Classic. We'll get there tonight, but we got some other news. We got an intro to Brian Rolap. We're going to talk some news and notes for the Tour Championship, but first, I want to thank our presenting sponsor, FanDuel. Tonight's happy hour is presented by FanDuel, our go-to betting for all the action at the FedEx Cup playoff finale. We've made it to the Tour Championship, and we have our 30 golfers for East Lake, and FanDuel's got all the bets to ride the chaos. We're talking first, second, and third round leader bets, finishing position, head-to-head matchups, and a whole lot more. The app's easy to use, and the payouts are fast, so download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and make your next PGA Tour bet an ace. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. The substitute teacher is here tonight. TC, let's talk a little press conference, some PGA Tour news and notes. So we had Brian Rolap. I mean, honestly, refreshing. Stood up in front on the pulpit. Yeah, kind of made a speech. I think 4 things he called out. Kind of core principles that I want to hit first is competitive parity, meritocracy, scarcity, and I missed the last specific word, but competition. The competition should be easy to follow. Those were kind of the 4 things he hit on. He didn't really read off a script. He kind of looked people in the eye, and then he took questions on his own without any help. But what stood out to you from Mr. Rolap's first introduction to the media?
Everybody I talked to at the tour said, "Hey, you're going to be impressed. You're going to be impressed. You're going to be impressed." And I said, "Cool. I hope I am." I was impressed. I'd heard a lot of good things about this guy. Just various sports people have said, "Hey, this guy knows what he's doing. And everything up there today was it was like we've been begging for this for 5, 6, 7, 8 years for even pre-J for hey, can we get some fresh blood in the tour?" And finally it's happening, and man, it looked good. I think got off to a lot of ums and ahs, I think, to start off with, and he was better off script than he was on script, which I think is impressive. He didn't have a hall monitor or someone calling on everybody. He was just looking people in the eye, like you said, Neil, calling people out. Nobody to cherry pick questions or run out the clock or protect him. He projected confidence, clarity. It was everything we've been asking for. And I thought it was absolutely emasculating and demoralizing that Monahan had to get up there and basically introduce him and say, here is the right guy for the job. I wasn't the right guy for the job. Here is the right guy for the job. And I liked what he had to say. Significant change. He said, "I don't want incremental change. I want significant change." And, and just the way that he answered stuff, the way that he answered softball questions, the way they answered hard questions, the way that he put you and Murray kind of in a blender there. All of it was just, it was someone who was thoughtful, quick on his feet, not scared, okay to, talk just extemporaneously, just a leader. And obviously the devil will be in the details and in the actions that he takes, but you can tell he's not all talk. This guy knows what he's doing, and he's an actual human being, an actual adult. I'm stoked for the future of the tour, Neil. And Theo Epstein.
And Theo Epstein. And just to be clear, it sounds like Monahan, technically his contract runs through the end of next year. Okay, and he is still the acting commissioner, but Brian Rolap is the CEO of PGA Tour Enterprises. So I guess technically Monahan's been leveled, as they would say, management levels. It seems. Randy, what stuck out to you from the press conference?
Yeah, a lot of the same things TC mentioned. His command and presence of the room being first and foremost. I echo what Sean said about just being able to conduct a press conference like that. It was impressive. And listen, as far as winning the opening press conference, does that portend great success over his tenure? No. And the devil will be in the details. We'll see how the words turn into action, but gosh, the words were refreshing. I love the words. The quote about incremental change, significant change, I believe that the actual quote was, the goal is not incremental change. The goal is significant change. And he said that in relation to the formation of this competition committee, which, among other things, is going to be tasked with another thing that I really liked. I think a big thing is fans need to understand the stakes when they tune in and watch a golf tournament. What does this mean not only for the regular season, the postseason? Brian Rolap talked about they have to rethink everything, and he used the terms regular season, postseason, off season, right? He talked about the timeline of these changes. We're going to get into the 2026 schedule. I think the nature of the beast is they kind of got to go with the status quo a little bit into 2026. Rolap talked about, and I have a quote here, we will take as much time as it takes to get things right, but we will move aggressively. And so I think reading between the tea leaves, we will probably hear about some pretty significant changes as early as next year. And I anticipate it really coming to fruition on the schedule in 2027. I think that is not a secret. We'll see how that obviously comes about over the next 12 18 months. And then the other thing that just really struck me, and I'm so glad it hits me, that I really think that the tour and SSG and this new entity that is the PGA Tour, it had to have people from outside of the organization solving the problems of where the PGA Tour is. I'm so thankful that the people that were largely responsible for where the PGA Tour and the men's professional game is now are not the ones that are going to be thinking about the solutions and ultimately leading the tour out of this. So I'm like TC. I came away very impressed. I realize it's one press conference. It's not the be all end all, but man, it sure feels good to have something like this and to have some like real optimism, I think, about the future of the tour, and somebody that just gets it at the top, seemingly gets it. I am excited.
He's got
really am eager to see where we go.
Decades of action and results at the NFL to back it up, right? I don't think this is just like, hey, trust me, hope. I think it's no, like, hey, we set up this future competitions committee. I know some people were rolling their eyes at setting up another committee and having Tiger on it and all that, but at some point, like he said a few times, I'm not big into titles. We need to gather info and opinions now and not on the back end, which is more open-minded than I think the tour has ever been. It's always been, hey, we'll tell you what the plan is. We'll let you know when the plan is ready. And yeah, I don't know. I think there's something to be said too for like, I'm just left wondering why it took till now to hire this guy. Why couldn't we have done this a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago? Like the whole wartime thing strikes me as bullshit. Like, who would you rather have had in this role 3 years ago? This guy or Monahan?
Well, TC, I was thinking about that
No
today.
question.
And I think you're right. There was some time wasted, but I always thought it was a job that until you had this like $3 billion, or let's call it $1.5 billion kind of blank check from some competent individuals. So that happened, about a year and a half ago with the Strategic Sports Group. They need to get in and take an audit and figure out who the right person is for the job. Because before that, nobody wants that job if they don't have any resources to play with. And I think that has a lot to do with it, is that feels like they've audited the global home a little bit and said, okay, here are the resources we're going to give to the right person. Let's go find the right person. So I agree with you that it's frustrating. We spun our wheels with strategic alliances and CNBC interviews and things like that for a while. But I mean, I will also say that Brian Rolap didn't really say anything. Like he didn't, which was, I almost mean that as a compliment. He didn't back himself into any corners. He was very direct when he said, I'm not going to answer that, or, I'm not ready to share details on that. It's kind of, a lot of non-answers, but he did it in a very direct and confident way. And I felt like that was something we've been missing a little bit.
I agree with that largely, but I do think it does merit that line about not incremental change, but significant change. Like I think that is very much something.
Yeah.
I
guess I meant,
of course, there are no
details,
details at this point, but I think just the tone that he was setting was very much like something.
Yeah.
And him saying too, like, hey, we're not going to, we're going to honor tradition and let that guide us, but we're not going to be completely bound by it. Like he said that over and over again. And I think having a guy like Ty, he's product first, right? He said, hey, like our goal is to put a quality product out and then everything else will follow. It was just
to that point, I thought his opening remarks did have some indication that like the competitive parity, the difference between a quote was the difference between the 5th ranked and the 35th ranked player is razor thin. And he sees that as a positive for golf. He said, other than the NFL, golf is the closest thing we have to competitive parity in sports. And I would agree with that, right? You don't really see it in the MLB because of the salary cap stuff. NBA, it's kind of a strong link sport. So one player can really shift the, he was saying like they say any given Sunday in the NFL. He's like, well, I feel like it's the same thing with golf, any given week. So I liked hearing him evaluate, like, he's sitting down at the chessboard. A lot of moves have been made. And I feel like he's done a good job of evaluating. These are the potential moves I could make. I need to lean into our strengths. And it seems like that was the first one he called out. And then I also thought it was interesting. He called out the meritocracy. Whether or not that's true, I know some, sponsor exemptions. We could get into the nitty gritty of that.
it's still true largely. I mean,
He did say it seems like a big theme for him in his talks with players, that they all think of that as a really core part of their tour of like, if I play good, I get rewarded. That's really all I have to focus on. And the tour may have lost its way a little bit with the PIP and the, Comcast business top 10. I guess you could say that's merit based, but it's a lot of like non-playing bonus stuff going on. It seems like, I'm trying to kind of read between the lines on him calling some of this stuff out. Now, the biggest one, which I think you guys are probably way in on it, was scarcity. Put on PGA Tour events that matter. That's the one I'm looking for some details on, because that's good. That is easy to say, but how are we going to do that? So that was one that really stuck out to me. And then Randy, you called out the, casual fans need to know and understand the stakes, right? Competition needs to be easy to follow. Season finale needs to be simplified. Some of it's kind of obvious, but it's not, like you said, it's an outside perspective, just saying this stuff out loud.
Yeah. TC, with something we haven't mentioned though, is how is his fit? I think that's something that we
fine. Yeah, I mean, like
you
Jay's
like
up
the
there
no
in his
tie?
like bright blue suit, and he's fumbling over everything, and it was just night and day. He's like, man, I'm gonna stand up here. I'm not gonna slouch over. I'm not gonna read off of cue cards. This is me. He seems comfortable in his own skin. He seems comfortable in front of a room of people. And I think on the competitive part too, like it is interesting. He knows he's got NBC, CBS contracts through what 2030, 2031. I think 2030, but he's dealt with these same entities previously. I think he will, he knows how to work that. I know the new 2026 schedule, which we'll talk about later here in this show. They added a signature event down in Miami at Doral. Doesn't have a sponsor yet. There's some bottlenecks in the schedule for sure. I think he'll solve through all of that. But I think like there were people asking questions in the press conference about the Tour Championship format this year or signature events. I think he's looking for the type of change where like that stuff is going to be unrecognizable in 3, hopefully 4 or 5 years, right?
I think that's the hope, right? That's if there's something that really piques my interest and gives me optimism, it's that thought, TC.
And because the Jay Monahan era was simply just a continuation of Tim Fincham, and Rolap's going to find the corpses that are buried in the yard. Like we saw one this week. Adam Schupak at Golf Week had a great piece on the conversations around taking the Tour Championship on the road and moving that around. And supposedly Fincham granted this to Eastlake in perpetuity. He said, which is insane.
Yeah.
And so I think I know there's all sorts of stuff like that with regard to how certain contracts are set up and all of that. So, Rolap said like that $1.5 billion with access to more was a big part of why he took the job. And he took the job because, players do have a say and they do have the equity. And Neil, like on that competitions committee that Joe Gorder, who seems to have possibly all the juice.
I didn't realize he was the chairman of both the the PGA Tour board and the Enterprise board. Now there's 2 separate boards, which is also kind of confusing.
Boards.
A lot of boards.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of voices, but he seems like
Gorder
Joe Gorder is kind of the dude.
Gorder was kind of the guy that I think the players he was the one guy that they could agree upon. They forced out that Mark Flaherty. They forced out somebody else that was on the board, and Cantlay and the boys said, "Hey, no, we want somebody who we know is in our corner," and I think the Tour could get down with him too. But I mean, Randy, back to like just clean sheet mentality. The guy's been on the job 3 weeks, right? And I think he's like, there's no sacred cows. I think everything is. He didn't come up with any of it. He doesn't have anything that's his baby. There's going to be I would imagine he remakes a lot of Neil, to your point. I think the auditing the Tour or getting, clearing some of the decks off so that this guy can start fresh. I think that's important, but I think you'll see him play offense on that front now too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good first impression from Rolap would say, dog tendencies, maybe subtle dog tendencies.
I think the exchange with you and Murray is worth going and watching. It was really good.
Yes, he was not backing down.
Ask your live question if that's what you want to ask.
You're ruining my transition here, Randy, because I got to get Rhoback in. Shout out to Rhoback Activewear. You know how much we love Rhoback. Talking subtle dogs, talking all kinds of dogs. The Chris Polos, the dog logo, and the most comfortable hoodies on the planet. Now you see it, Randy. Now you see it. Well, now we've teamed up with Rhoback and Erin Hills to give you a shot at a bucket list golf experience. We're teaming up with Rhoback and Erin Hills for a chance to win the ultimate golf experience. You and a friend will join 2 members of the NLU crew for an unforgettable round of championship golf at Erin Hills. Your prize includes 1 round with 2 members of this year team at NLU. 1 night stay in Erin Hills world-class cottages, travel credit to get you there, of course, and $1,000 in Rhoback gear to look and feel your best on the course. Just go to rhoback.com/NLU to enter. It takes 30 seconds, and you might just end up teeing it up at one of the top courses in the world with 2 of us. So that's rhoback.com/NLU. Going to be getting that round underway sometime next spring. Looking forward to that.
Quite the offer there.
I cooked that up with our friends at Rhoback. You know what? It took a lot of emails. We got it done though. And Steve, shout out to Steve at Erin Hills. Pumped up for that one. It's good stuff.
Am I allowed to enter if I'm not one of the 2 that's playing? Can I?
Yeah, why not?
Throw my name in the hat.
Come on, get in there, big.
Okay.
So all right, let's get to today. The news of the day is the Creator Classic. Brad Dahlke wins the Creator Classic, the second one at Eastlake. Listen, our very own Soly, we might pull him in here shortly. Finished +8. He was +8 through 8 holes. Doubled the first hole again, which was sick. I believe finished at +8 with a nice poetic birdie, Sandy birdie from the fairway bunker on number 8. So 8 over through 8 holes. Let's bring him in. Soly, get in here. Tell us about your day. How'd it go, buddy?
Great. How did I look on TV? Did I look like I knew how to play golf?
I mean, yeah, you look pretty good. Like the scores didn't look good. Your name didn't look good on the leaderboard, but you didn't look bad. I thought your fit was very classy.
Please tell me they didn't show my tee shot on 12. That's like my only concern.
Is that the one that went like farther left than the other ones?
It like went almost hit all of the girls were teeing off on their tee box and almost hit a couple camera people. It was the most shameful walk towards a shot I've ever had to make. Just like no one should ever be there. And your boy just didn't have it today, guys. It just was a little unlucky, a couple unlucky bounces, a couple lip outs, Randy, and I'd have been right there. But no, it was bad warm up. It's just it was funny. So Matt Ryan was caddying for me, and I got to hit like 15 balls on the range, and he was like, you know what? My best game maybe ever in the NFL. I had a terrible warm up. Couldn't do anything right. And I went out through for 503 yards. Julio went off. Like I was like, oh, okay, cool. And later he's like, yeah, I kind of made that up. Your warm up was terrible. I knew we were in trouble. So.
Soly, what'd you hit on that tee? Because I see the tee shot only went 209.
Yeah, it was trying to be a punch cut driver, and I smothered it. It was chloroform ball, and this one went how I thought the first one was going to go. To be honest, just felt horribly uncomfortable out there. I hit 0 fairways. It's a hard golf course. It's just like kind of my nightmare golf course. Like they pinched the fairways in, and I was just in the rough the whole day. Couldn't get anything going. Greens were firm, tough to. It just felt everything was moving very, very, very quickly for me today, and I had almost no highlights except for that very last hole.
Well, there was one highlight I wanted to ask you about. Fairway bunker looked like a hill in front of you. A true if it hits the hill, it hits the hill situation.
That was on TV?
Yeah. Did Matt talk you through that one? You guys see that lip or what did we acknowledge that?
We need to watch that one back. We both were like, dude, I thought you hit that good, and I was not concerned about the lip. I looked up. I was not expecting that to have hit. It was a hit the hill situation. I was stunned that one hit. I thought if I thinned it, it could definitely hit the lip, but it felt like I hit it solid. And I mean, that was honestly just the Max Homa, hit rock bottom, find the shovel, dig 6 feet deeper at that point. Like that was when it was like, oh my God, this could go horribly, and it did.
Yeah, they picked you up. Coverage picked you up, missing a bogey putt on the first. I just wanted on the first tee, nerves on the first tee. Were you getting heckled? Like what?
No, it wasn't that bad. I hit a pole, a chloroform ball that would not be my worst chloroform ball of the day. And I'm under a tree in a horrible lie, so I have to punch out to the fairway. Hit what I thought was a decent 48 degree, but it's totally blind up there, and it went 2 feet long left, and I have a diabolical chip that I left in that spot. Left myself a really tough putt, and sure enough, I made double, and I wasn't that freaking out about it. But then pulled my shot off the next tee, couldn't get up and down. And then hit that chloroform ball in 12, and it was like, oh my God, this could be. At least it's bad enough that it's probably funny. Like that was the only saving factor of all this. I'm gonna be in the running for dead DFL, and almost I gave Peter Finch a hug afterwards for helping me share T11 and not be
T11.
Solid, no,
that was
guys,
so nice.
Breaking news.
Whoa.
Or the website is wrong. The official scores: Peter Finch's DFL. +9.
Oh.
You are solo 11th.
Wow, it's a
at
solo
+8.
11th.
Then Roger at solo 10th. So
Here he comes. Bounce back.
Well, that was a classy birdie. That birdie on the 8th hole, that ball took about 10 seconds to drop in. You almost left it short.
I had a no-see-him land on my eye as I made contact with it. I thought I left it a 1.5 foot short. I could not believe that ball actually got to the hole. But
it looked really crispy, like especially the drone shots. Like I was like, man, I don't know if this is the right course to be having this on. Like it looks hot as shit out there. It looks really firm, really fast, really difficult.
And then we got dumped on, which was really, really, really unfortunate. There's more lightning and thunder right there. Probably gonna have to go here shortly. I did not ever feel comfortable at any moment today. I mean, it was just a tough go. Glandular issues, of course, and it just golf felt very, 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 very hard today.
Well,
Soly, how our guy the short game king? I
Say
did
what?
see he muffed a chip. The short game king.
He does have a
Muffed
nice
the
short
chip.
game. He's got a nice game, man. He kept it right in front of him. He plays confidently. I thought he was going to make it. Honestly, he really, really good on short range putts. He did muff a chip, but he also hit some excellent chips that I'm not sure made the air. He lived up to his name. So I mean, some of the lies in this rough are truly brutal. Like I don't know what you do with some of these. I was actually pretty lucky on a lot of my lies today, and I actually got an embedded ball on 16, so I got to take a drop, go a club length into like the better grass that was around the bunker, and my 7-iron from 193 probably went. I don't know what the shot tracker said. Probably went 230 all the way over that green. It was
I see that.
yeah, jumper Nash.
Yeah, you hit it. Let's see, you hit your 7-iron 227.
Uphill. I had no
regardless,
spin.
we're proud of you for getting in the cauldron. Not what we wanted.
No, it was not, Neil. It was not.
One question. I know the franchise, Sean and I's father was out there. Did you see the franchise?
We did. We saw the franchise a lot. We interviewed him because we're going to do a little podcast about this experience. It was so funny. We asked him to do a 3-word review of my performance. And just like TC does, could not stick to 3 words. Just kept trying again. He tried like 6 different times and he kept coming up with 4 or 5 words. Did not understand the concept, but he was one of my biggest cheerleaders out there. So I appreciate the franchise showing up.
Soly, was that him yelling for you after you hit from the bunker on 17?
Could have been. It very well might have been. He was he kept telling me to make an eagle.
Yeah.
After I had already played my eagle shot on a hole, so I didn't know what to do with that, but he really wanted me to make an eagle.
Okay.
Well, like Rolap said, Randy, we got to make these stakes understandable for these casual fans.
That's right.
Like the franchise.
That's
you
right.
know? Maybe we need to simplify the language of golf.
Soly, I know there were a few caddy changes out there. Obviously, DJ, you took DJ off the bag.
DJ quit on me.
Ryan on the bag. Gabby Golf Girl, her dad was not on the bag for her. Any comment there?
It's tough out here in these creator streets, man. I mean, it's tough. These are bags that a lot of people want, and performance is anything less than perfect, and there's gonna be a lot of turnover. But
there were rumors out there that potentially Gabby Golf Girl's dad is going to be on the bag for Morikawa this week.
Okay, I hadn't heard that, but I am here, and I can ask a few people as soon as we get off here.
How was the last question? Vibe in the group was good. Roger, the short game king.
That's great. We had a great time. Roger got me by a shot, so I lost my bet. We didn't play good golf, but we laughed, we smiled, we had fun. There'll be some good content to come from this. Very regrettable performance, but honestly, I just didn't have it. What can you do? Did not have it, and I'm not as embarrassed as I thought I would be. If you'd told me you're going to finish 11th and play bogey golf, I thought I'd be pretty embarrassed. But I'm like, dude, this wasn't right for me. This was not a good golf course, not a good setup, not a good time for me. But let's tell the story.
Listen, I'll say this. I think Nick or someone said it in the comments. We appreciate you sticking around to do media. That goes a long way with us and the fans.
It's part of my responsibility from, all this PIP money and all this it's in the game and these signature events. I think it's only right for me to stand up here. I got a chance to play for 100K today. This was for the kids. This was not for me. This was for our charity or for the No Laying Up Endowed Scholarship. So I do regret, not being able to bless the kids with that 100K. But I don't think I was beating Brad Dalkey today. That guy's really good at golf.
Yeah,
strong. That's a big ask. Yeah.
So I will let you go. I know you might have some kind of after party or
any more activations?
There, right up there. I'm soaking wet. We got absolutely dumped on. Did not get undercover in time. All my bags are wet. It's going to be just an extra kind of kick in the nuts after that, the way that went.
Sounds like a caddy issue. The umbrella.
No, Matt sprinted ahead to get my clubs dry in the kind of hospitality lounge, and I stuck around to do an interview, and I just got toasted. But what are you gonna do?
Well, Soly, I think the good news is, you finished solo 11th. I was thinking you finished T10 and you would have gotten Wikipedia yellow.
No wiki yellow.
No wiki yellow. No wiki yellow, unfortunately. But this is just not part of my life anymore. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy anymore. We're not gonna go out and do that to ourselves anymore. But had fun doing it in the process.
Yeah. All right, we'll let you go, man.
All right.
Enjoyed watching you. We'll
Thanks for having me on your program.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Listen, that's tough, but hey, sound like a fun day. I just to kind of round out. So we said Brad Dahlke won. I believe he was in a playoff with Luke Kwan. Do you guys remember the other?
Yeah, it was like two good guys and two former good guys. It was Luke Kwan, Micah Morris.
That's right.
Sean Walsh and Brad Dahlke. And Kwan went down the alternate fairway, or tried to go down the alternate fairway, and I think overthought himself and was in a nasty lie. Hit it way left.
I mean, Brad Dahlke definitely stunted on people. Very good. His combo of like a 350-yard drive with a wedge to 3 feet on the 17th hole was pretty impressive. Kind of turned into a semi-pro duel there at the end with Dahlke, Kwan, and Sean Walsh. Good showing by Garrett Clark. Good showing out big time. Overall impressions, Randy. I know you watched it from start to finish. What do you think? What Kat think? What do you got for us?
This Dahlke guy, do I have this right? He played in the Masters.
Yes,
am
you
I
have that
reading
correct.
You did, yeah.
Neil, that's a tough question. I wish you wouldn't have thrown that at me. Kat, my wife, had many comments as we were watching. I think I had many comments. Listen, love Soly. Love that he loves playing in these. I'm just not sure I'm the target audience for these, and that's totally fine. I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. I don't, that's not what I'm here for. It would have been great had Soly won, get some money to the kids, but yeah, I'll probably, in true Brian Rolap fashion, I'll probably make these scarce, at least personally for me. I think is where I net out.
Well, I would say in the pro column, I thought the broadcast, it dragged a little bit. I mean, play got slow towards the end, felt a little juiceless, but I thought the broadcast itself was better. Less bells and whistles, no Blackstone like live cooking segments. I thought it was a little just cleaner of like, hey, if you want to watch these guys play golf on East Lake and get a look at the course before the tournament, very harmless thing to have on your TV while you're doing some other work.
I agree. I was impressed with Tisha. I thought Tisha's game's nice. But yeah, I mean, Neil, many people are asking, are you the next to play in one of these if the call comes?
I love that competition juice, TC. I do. I don't know what the future though is of these. Like, I think there needs to be some type of through line. It's how I felt about the match. They changed it up with the Truest one, and it was like a 3-man alt shot, and I don't know, when they all just exist in a vacuum, I'm not super interested in watching them. But if I got the call, TC, I don't know, TBD, man, TBD. I like to be in the cauldron.
In a second, you're doing it.
Come on, Randy. Come on. I'd love to see you in there. I'd love to see you in the cauldron. Who among us?
I don't think you would like to see Randy in there.
No, I don't think anybody needs to see it. I don't think anybody wants to see it. I certainly don't need it. It's a young man's game. I'm not that guy.
I think that's well said. It is a young man's game. That's very fair.
Young woman's game too, to be fair.
I mean,
of course.
Dahlke beat Soly by 10 shots in 8 holes.
Yeah. Well, Soly didn't have it today. That's going to happen.
Really well. Yeah. I do think there's certain courses that this works on. I don't think East Lake's it. It's just
didn't make for an exciting competition.
There's not a lot of juice out there. Yeah. I think it would be great at like Travelers, or it's great at Sawgrass. It would be great at like Pebble or even Waste Management or something like that, where there's risk reward holes and there's just all sorts of, there's just better spectating areas, and it's just hot and humid. And there's a lot of grass out there at East Lake.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, it's, congrats to Brad Dahlke. He got his money right. Speaking of that, I want to shout out our friends at SoFi. They're the all-in-one finance app, and thank you for sponsoring today's episode. Did you know the average golfer spends about $2,500 every year on golf, according to a recent study by Stitch Golf? That's a lot. That's a lot to spend on the game.
It is.
Personally, I want to know that my money is working hard for me. That's why we love SoFi. They help you stay on top of your financial game, no matter what your ambitions are. You can bank, borrow, invest, and protect your money all in one place and get your money right. And when you sign up for SoFi Plus, their new premium membership, you unlock extra savings, rewards, discounts, and more that add up to over $1,000 in value with qualifying activities each year. SoFi Plus is literally stacked with benefits. It's free if you sign up with eligible direct deposit or just $10 a month. Head to SoFi.com/NLU to learn more about how you can get your money right with SoFi Plus. I'd also call out the good checking account with SoFi.
There you go.
TC.
Yeah.
Let's take it to Tour Championship week. Any preview stuff? Anything you learned today from the Creator Classic about the course, or what are you looking forward to with the finale of the PGA Tour season?
Yeah, actually, the tour put out a decent YouTube thing, little YouTube video about the course setup this week. Aside from some concerning rough being grown up down the left side of 8, when I think they're going to make it drivable one day, narrow strip of rough to hold balls up. Otherwise, it looks like it's both softer than last year, but in a good way. It's actually going to let them make rock hard. It was like concrete last year because it was just coming out of the renovation. So we're going to use more hole locations, cooler hole locations. The drone shots we saw today on the broadcast were very. It looked very crispy. Now, who knows after this rain, but very crispy. Rough was thick. Just like, I don't know, proper setup. A lot of short grass around the greens, all that. And then I think Brendan Porath had a good thing in the Fried Egg newsletter today, just about Shoe Pack's piece about the Tour Championship going on the road potentially. And there was some nuggets about Fincham granting it in perpetuity to Atlanta. There was also some interesting quotes from Spieth about how he always plays well there, so he likes it. And then from Jason Day about how he doesn't play well there and he wants him to move it around. And it was kind of the perfect storm of like, here's the shit that Rolap's going to have to deal with. The three, kind of the 3 levels or the 3 bosses, right? And you got the players, and they're always going to have their opinions that aren't necessarily based on reality. Some are based on some stuff that's superfluous, like, do I play well at this golf course, and what are you rewarding? And then you've got the commercial considerations, you have the tour's legacy considerations, sponsor considerations, all of that. So yeah, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting look, but yeah, I mean, from a TV product perspective, it's just, I think we can do a lot better.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard one to get excited about late August in Atlanta. I mean, even the crowds, it felt like it thinned out there today at the Creator Classic. I'm sure pretty humid, people trying to beat Atlanta traffic. Randy, they've changed the format this year. No starting strokes, a little less Mickey Mouse stuff going on. Does that make you more excited to watch the finale for the PGA Tour in 2025?
I think it does, only because had Scotty started with such a big lead, I don't feel like there's anybody that's going to catch him. Now, he still might win regardless, but I think it makes it a little bit more up in the air, a little bit more exciting for me to tune in. As newfound Scotty Scheffler fan, I mean, has more wins since the end of March, as opposed to times he's finished outside the top 5. He's just on an amazing run. And I think, as I said last week, I'll probably be a little bit of a broken record here, but just making sure I take the opportunity to watch him as he's in this historic run and doing things that, quite honestly, I didn't think we'd really see anybody doing this soon after the Tiger Woods peak or multiple peaks. So I think from that standpoint, yeah, I want to tune in. He's paired with Rory the first 2 days. I think that's cool. That'll be, and yeah, we might have, a bunched up good leaderboard come Sunday, which hopefully will be entertaining.
Question for you guys. Have we solicited feedback on the Tour Championship format at some point? Did we put out like a call for people to send us?
No, I don't think so, but I think we've kind of
idea.
circled the topic a lot, where it's like, man, this doesn't make sense. Like, the starting strokes are annoying. It feels gimmicky. So I think in last week on the BMW recap, we were talking about, just based on the USAM and how engaging that match play television product was for me, I feel strongly that I would love to see match play incorporated in the finale to the season. It feels right. It feels easy to understand. When you talk about casual fans understanding the stakes, that's a very easy thing to turn on and be like, that guy's playing that guy. he's better, this would be an upset. Like I can explain that to my in-laws, and that's what I'm kind of looking for. But you could also argue that like that's a tough product for the end of the season, and that doesn't, then you get the parity, and the right guy might not win. It's not the best way to measure who the best golfer is. I get all of that. So
the reason I ask is just that we get like, I think we've gotten like dozens of unsolicited, hey, here's my plan to fix the tour championship. And like, I don't know why people are sending it to us. Like somebody stopped me in the parking lot at a golf course last month, right, Neil?
Yes, but I appreciate that though.
Yeah,
it's like
but
they're
it just
thinking
seems like
you guys could be the change we all wish to see.
But nobody's like, I don't know, like I've just never seen everybody like, so it's almost like I don't know if it's the MBAs or whatever, but like so many people have reached out and they just seem so taken by, I can fix this. I can fix golf's playoffs kind of thing.
I've got the idea.
Well, it's funny.
Randy, do you have an idea for it?
Well, they're not original. I sketched out 2 hypotheticals, which I think are part of what's been discussed. I created the 30-man bracket for this week if it was true match play. I'm happy to kind of run you through some thoughts on that. And then the other idea that I somewhat dig, I apologize, I don't know where I saw it first, but essentially treating the playoffs like any other sport would treat the playoffs, in that once you enter the playoffs, it's a new season. And so I think in terms of golf and the FedEx Cup, it'd be like, okay, the top 70 make Memphis, and that 4-round tournament, the top 50 are going to advance to the BMW. And at the BMW, that tournament, the top 30 are going to advance to Eastlake. And then whoever wins at Eastlake is your winner. They have come through the playoffs. I have some things around that also, if you guys are at all curious.
So would you look at that as just a 12-round tournament with 3 different stops, Randy?
No,
Like
well, I don't think it's a 12-round tournament,
and then
but it's like almost first round. You don't have to win necessarily, but you got to advance, right? It's you have to advance twice and then win the championship. And so let's just go there. There are 2 guys at Eastlake this week, which did not finish top 50 at Memphis and did not finish top 30 at the BMW. And that's Chris Goddard and Corey Connors. So they, under this hypothetical, like the playoffs are beginning anew, those guys would have been eliminated round 1. And yet here they are at Eastlake for the chance to win, presumably the season-long
golf's
playoff.
ultimate prize.
Yeah. You got a guy, Shane Lowry, who did not make the top 50 at Memphis. Now he still advanced, and he was inside the top 30 at the BMW. And then you have a handful of guys that did not make the top 30 at the BMW and yet are still at Eastlake. And that's Andrew Novak, Colin Morikawa, Justin Rose, JT, Nick Taylor, Patrick Cantlay, Sung J M. And so
I do think if you win one of the playoff events, like
that was my thought with Justin Rose too, is almost like you're protected. I think if you go back to Memphis, I think it makes Memphis a lot more interesting if you just blank slate it there. And it's like everybody knows, hey, you just got to finish top 50. And obviously the money's built in to give guys incentive to like do as well as possible. But you would have had this year, I was just looking at the names, you would have essentially had 10 guys out and 10 new guys in at BMW. And, that would have been guys like Jordan Spieth, Chris Kirk, Max Grazerman, some other guys. So I feel like, listen, that's one possibility. I think whether you like that or not, I think making the tour.
Oh no, he's frozen.
That's where I had fun just putting together the bracket. I was working under an assumption of give the top 2 guys first round buys, right? So you have 14 quote unquote first round matches, which is 28 players. And then you have, as it were this year, Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy sitting out there in round 2, not having to sweat a first round matchup. And if you just go purely, by their FedEx standings, seed them 1 through 30, what it yields is some interesting first round matchups, hypothetical first round matchups, which, like, I don't know about you guys, but sign me up. You have, for instance, a Sam Burns versus Keegan Bradley matchup in round 1. Huge Ryder Cup implications there potentially. You have a Robert McIntyre versus Shane Lowry. Some good inner Euro Ryder Cup matchup. You have what other one caught my eye? You have a Andrew Novak versus Brian Harman, right? Can Andrew Novak get hot and earn a spot on this Ryder Cup team? You have Russell Henley against Harry Hall, like just a fun little matchup there. Maybe a Ryder Cup preview. Who knows? So you had Tommy Fleetwood, Sung J M, Colin Morikawa versus JT is probably one of the better, higher profile round 1 matchups. But I think it's just a lot more fun when you have a bracket and you can kind of look at. So, for instance, Scheffler, his quadrant, if you will, would have gotten the winner of Burns and Bradley, and then he's in a quadrant with McIntyre, Shane Lowry, and then Nick Taylor would have been against Sepp Straka first round, right? And so for Scheffler to get to the Final Four, that's the group he's got to come out of. And then, Justin Rose is the 4 seed. He's got Tommy Fleetwood in his quadrant, and he's got Colin and JT and Harris English and Patrick Cantlay. That's a very exciting quadrant, in my opinion. You look down at Rory as the 2 seed, and his path would include Brian Harman, Andrew Novak, Mav McNeely, Hideki, Harry Hall, and Russ Henley.
See, I like this a lot, because if you could you could crown the season, the champion at the end of the regular season. You could filter in some benefits to the guys that played really well this year.
For sure.
It makes a season capping tournament very valuable for a sponsor. And then this is an annual spectacle of like, hey, I just think you can make, I believe you can make it work, match play work on television. I enjoy watching it. The Ryder Cup, I know it's a team thing, but there's not that much golf going on during the Ryder Cup. Like you can do this, and it would be different and very easy to understand.
And you do it at a scenic place in prime time. And Randy, I like doing it off of, the regular season or the playoffs or however you want to seed it, more than just doing like 36 holes of stroke play to start it off and then seeding off of that, because it feels like the matchups are actually based upon the quality of the player,
a bunch of context
instead of just 2 random rounds that happened,
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Well, there it is, Randy. Nice.
But keep sending us your ideas, specifically to Tron. Message
I
Tron
almost think they need to
any idea.
break it down and make it as simple as possible first before you start with the points. That the points of just, they're hard to follow. Like I appreciated last week showing the top 30 who's in, who's out leaderboard, but you don't know, it's like a freaking large language model that's calculating these points in real time. It's like, oh, well, if Hovland birdie's here, then Michael Kim's out. It's like, well, how does that work? You know what I mean? Anyway, let's get to our plays this week. These are presented, as always, by our friends at the FanDuel Sportsbook, and odds are subject to change. One and done's last one and done's of the year, gentlemen. Really the highlights here. TC had a 2-for-1 during Travelers U.S. Women's Open Week. He picked Keegan at plus 3,300 and Minjee Lee at plus 2,200. Yours truly hit Rory for the Masters. That was at plus 650. So we like that. But TC, the Vision Fund alive and well.
It's back, baby.
You just need one big hit, right?
I feel like one and dones get trickier too when you get somebody like Scotty, who's, or like Rory had a pretty good year too, and like you only use those guys once.
How did none of us hit on any Scotty wins? I think we all just used him too early before he got.
I took him for Oakmont.
Yeah, I took him at Oakmont too.
For Masters.
I think I might have
Soly took him for
he
Masters.
was plus 280 at Oakmont. This week, I have him in one of my picks. Scotty to win this week. Do you guys know what the odds were yesterday when I selected?
I
Got to
remember
be like plus 200 or something.
Plus 150.
There's only 30 guys, but
I know, but still, there's 29 really good players in the field.
I think I saw his odds to top 20 were minus 20,000. I want to say, which you got to lay 20,000 to win 100 for him.
Basically, like betting on an injury or something, right?
Yeah.
It's Bermuda. He plays well in Bermuda. Grew up on that. I think Neil, it's one of those weeks that I think is tricky because it's, you've got only 30 guys in, so your top fives, your top fives are almost like your top tens, but then there's a bunch of great players. So I love matchups. Like I did a round 1 2-ball parlay. I did Rose over Spawn, Burns over Harmon, Hovland over Morikawa, Keegan over Novak. All those
TC's
plus
back to his
973
parlay ways, Randy.
with the matchups. Yeah.
Well, let's
I've
go
got
down your
Aaron
list.
Rye with a top 5, including ties at the British Masters, hosted by Cernic Faldo. Got Rory first round leader plus 1100, Hovland plus Goddard top 10 in ties, then Ludwig top 5. I've got Team Rose as my one and done play. But I have a question for you guys before we get to your plays. Do you think if Tommy wins this week, do you consider that a PGA Tour win against some 29 other guys?
I am rooting. I already picked Tommy in a one and done, so I can't. I would 1000% select him because I think he is going to win, and it's going to be hilarious because it would, you would have to explain it to people. It would just be perfect after the season.
No shade. I think
definitely
it
a
would
win.
be a win. Yeah, I would count it. I am fascinated that Neil just throwing out, I think he's going to win. I just cannot imagine what leads you to arrive at that conclusion.
Because Randy, I just think it would be poetic. I'm rooting for it because I think it would be
okay.
Just because
that's
TC would have to
different.
explain
That's
it.
different than you think. Like
no,
I
think
win,
I think I'll just go to my plays. I have Scotty. My tap in play is Scotty to win at plus 150, just based on the odds and what we've seen this year. I do have Tommy Fleetwood for a first round leader play because I thought that would be fun, plus 1600. And then I threw Rory and Tommy Fleetwood to both finish top 5, which is plus 550. Rory is, the horse for the course. I know the course has been redone since he's played really well here, but I just feel like it's a comfy spot for Rory. And then in my one and done, I have Sam Burns plus 3,000. I think he is playing some good golf right now. So, Randy, what do you have this week?
My one and done. Listen, I was just really searching for guys I hadn't used yet this year. I believe I have Sepp Straka at plus 3,500. Do I think Sepp Straka is going to win? No, I don't.
After a WD.
Yeah. The one that FanDuel put up on their market, I think this was my fun one, maybe all top 20 and ties. So you have Scheffler, which honestly is not moving the odds at all. You have Fleetwood, Henley, Ben Griffin, and Mav McNeely. So those 5 guys all within the top 20 and ties of a 30-man field get you a plus 115. I do feel good about that one.
There could be a 10-way tie for 20th.
That's right. That's right. I did have one. The matchups, TC. I love the 72-hole matchups. There was one, I think they had Mav McNeely matched up against Keegan over 72 holes at like even odds, minus 110. I don't know, man. Sign me up for Mav McNeely. I think he's playing really well and playing inspired right now. I might take a little nibble of that in my personal account.
I think they're both going to play really well. I think Keegan's going to be extra motivated to. I think Soly would have picked him this week. Instead, he picked Harry Hall because he's trying to lean into that lads club joke.
Good stuff. So just to wrap up the one and done, DJ has Patrick Cantlay at plus 2,500. TC Team Rose at plus 5,500. Soly has Harry Hall at plus 5,000. I have Sam Burns at plus 3,000, and Randy has Sepp Straka at plus 3,500. And then TC, did we do a 3-4 man parlay this week for top 20?
I don't know if we did we?
We do. Yeah, they have one.
Yeah, we've got Ludwig top 5, Sam Burns top 10, Ben Griffin top 10.
Randy took Ben Griffin top 10. Hopefully no creatine situations this week.
Maybe Soly took too much creatine.
Yeah, we should have asked him that. That's true.
I
took Sam Burns.
Asked that.
I'm doubling up on Sam Burns with a top 10 plus 125, and then TC has Ludwig top 5. You feeling good about Ludwig? You think he's back?
I think Ludwig's on the march. I think he's trending. It should be a good course for him. You know, I don't know, just a feeling. But Randy, I noticed on the LPGA side, Lottie Woad plus 1200, bested only by Nelly at plus 1100 and Gino plus 850.
Well,
Cody.
She's
Lottie
ahead
was
of
the
Minjee.
betting favorite at the AIG Women's Open. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
What we missed, sir?
First start on in I don't know what it would be called, North America. I was going to say the
Yeah.
Americas, but North America for Lottie there as a professional. Good call out there, TC. Hey, I was going through because this is officially the end of one and done season. There's some fascinating things that you guys have worked through the calendar year so far. So of the people that made the Tour Championship, 30 players, there's 8 people who nobody ever picked for one and dones. I wonder if you guys could name off any of them.
Got to be Nick Taylor.
We're talking about 0 people picked. Nick
Co-
Taylor is one of them.
Corey Connors,
Of course, you guys hate the Canadians. So good. 2 off the bat right there.
Sung J M.
No, because you pick him a lot.
Yeah, I think I picked him.
Just like in
Mav?
this game.
I
No, I'm
picked
pretty
Matt,
sure
maybe.
Randy picked Mav. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, who else would be on that? Akshay?
Nobody picked
Maybe-
Akshay.
Okay.
Kind of a late charger up the board, even though he got pretty hot in the summertime, was Goddard. Still nobody picked him. Was almost the case for Cam Young, but that picked up for, BMW.
Picked him last week.
Bridgman, Soly's
Oh.
tainting everyone. Nobody picked him. The highest 2 by far, JJ Spawn, not a single one and done pick. And then Novak, nobody picked him either all year.
Got to be
So
on the
I
team,
understand.
It's a West Coast band, a couple West Coast
though. Has
bands.
to be on the team. Won't
Now-
pick him in one and done, but it has to be on the team.
Of the 30, again, that made the Tour Championship, there's only 2 players that at one point in time, well, actually, no, not at one point in time. There's only 2 players out of the 30 that everybody picked. Who are they?
Scotty,
That'd be Scotty and
and
Rory.
Rory.
No, because Randy never picked Rory this season.
Oh, that's right.
Randy, you could have picked
You're
Rory this
picking
week.
Sepp ahead of
I could have
Rory.
picked Rory.
God,
Can
you're
I
an
change
idiot.
mine? Is it too late to change mine? I
Absolutely
didn't
not.
even realize
No,
that.
picks are locked. Come on. That's
Which
fantastic.
I thought was absolutely perfect. And I honestly, I don't know if this was part of your bit, Big, or just something that you
No, I think
forgot
it's
about.
simple. Just over.
So who's the second?
Did
that
everybody pick
picked?
Ludwig?
No, the person. So there's 3 people who get the most action out of any bet, one and dones, parlays, anything. Can you guys name them?
Tommy,
Of course, Tommy.
Tommy.
Of course.
Who's
Got to be
never won
Ludwig
anything.
too, right?
Ludwig.
Ludwig, of course. I'll say this in the since we started the 2025 PGA Tour season,
Beef?
there's only been 3 weeks where there
Henry?
hasn't been any sort of Tommy or Ludwig action from TC. That's just from TC. And in those weeks, everybody else covered down
We
for
also
him
have more
with
plays than
something.
everybody too.
True, you do run this. No, the other person, the second person that everybody cleared off the board and comes in third most selected out of all parlays and everything else, Patrick Cantley.
Haven't had.
I don't know why he is all over the place on our board. So if you search the spreadsheet, Ludwig and Tommy are tied. There's 23 allocations across the board each for them. Pat in the Hat comes in 17 times. Scotty's only up there like 14 times.
Yeah. Because Scotty's no
His
fun.
odds aren't good.
Yeah, it's no fun. But I think everybody feels like Cantley, he's Treadstone. You just feel like he's gonna pop out of nowhere and do something crazy at one of these big money events. What a quiet season he's had.
Huh. That's fascinating. I can't believe I
all-
didn't pick Rory.
Yeah, kind of
That's
a miss there.
awesome, big.
We also started out at the Century in January. There's a lot of love out there for Morikawa. Of course, that didn't really pan out. TC started the year with Big Bob. We're finishing the year with lots of Big Bob action as well. But our season-long picks, so everybody got them in for Century except for Randy. Everything has been cleared out so far. None of them have hit at all, except for DJ has 1 remaining for the Ryder Cup, and that's Europe to win the Ryder Cup at plus 155.
What's Europe at now
Mhm.
for Ryder Cup? Let me look. I got it up. Europe is plus 140 right now. So he's got a little bit little bit of juice there. Yeah, I wish I would have made a play on Live Golf Team Championship. Legion is plus 250 to win this week in Michigan.
Man, all right. My season long picks were stinky. I had Xander to win the Masters plus 1,200, Ludwig to win the U.S. Open plus 1,600, Tom Kim to win the Open Championship at plus 4,500. I might opt out.
You
What a
felt
lost
good about it
season
at the
for
time.
Xander.
Lost season for YTK as well, man.
Yeah.
Guy
Yeah,
disappeared.
He's not. I don't think he's on like Xander's level.
He was supposed to be the global superstar. TC, your season long plays: Will Zalatoris to win the Masters plus 3,800, Colin Morikawa to win the U.S. Open plus 2,000, and Tommy Fleetwood to win the Open Championship at plus 2,200.
I just missed it.
So close.
And yeah, Randy abstained.
I abstain. No, thank you.
He was still on winter break, I think.
Anything else,
That was on
Cody?
my honeymoon.
Anything else jump out to you?
No, just a ton of a lot of love. TC, obviously you didn't do a heck of a job running the FanDuel partnership for us. So obviously you have more action out there than anyone else, but the true amount of time that you put into trying to find spots for Tommy is impressive. And I hope
he's top 5ing and top 10ing at a rate we've never seen before.
True. It's just funny how you get everybody riled up for these big events where you're, proclaiming that it's Tommy's time and he's going to come, and you see the rest of the group follow you into them. And
the FanDuel execs might have like various super yachts named after me at this
It's
point.
contagious. The Tommy stuff is contagious. I mean, I feel like I want to see him get it done. I really do. And I appreciate that he keeps going back to the well, and he's kind of wearing the disappointment and the despair. Like you can see it live. His
attitude rules,
standing up to the mic after the round. It's good stuff
for sure. Speaking of wearing things, TC, the Ryder Cup uniforms came out. You got any thoughts, dog?
I kind of wanted to tee it up for Neil. I mean, just start flashing them up there. I think they got the day-by-day scripting. This was on the PGA Tour website, I believe.
I'm gonna move quickly through the Photoshop ones, which I don't understand here. These two images. So this is on the same article that they put together. They're just moving Keegan in this weird. I don't know what the collar is called from one side to the other. I don't know what they got going on, but here we go.
I'm kind of into this one. This kind of splatter stuff here. I think this is for one of the
like some
practice
dream
rounds.
team stuff.
Yeah. I'm cool with this one, and I like the tight stripes in the last picture you had up. When they lose me, when Polo loses me, is when they start doing the block stripes. Like they got one shirt on here that's got a bunch of little stripes, and like this is fine. I mean, this isn't exciting, but nice gray color here. Too big on the text for me.
Bad.
This is bad. I don't like this. Too many logos.
It looks like a soccer kit.
Yeah, I'm not in, and I'm not a big fan of the different color collars. I like just classic stripes. This is very Americana. I'm cool with this.
Not offensive. Would wear
this is what I'm talking about. I don't like it when we do the block
and the
color
zipper,
and then the zipper. I could, I
don't like the zipper.
I'm okay, but I just the tight stripes and then the weird like sort of fat stripes and then the block color. I'm way out on this. This is going to make people look fat. Again, logos, just too much going on here with the flag and the logo. Looks like NASCAR. Again, I don't like wide stripes. Get them out of here. I don't like it.
I think this is
that
the
that
TC
jacket
collection. Yeah, this is yours.
This is like, I like a little flair. We're not going to be wearing this on the course, but if a guy wants to express himself, I'm okay with this.
That's kind of the classic sweater. I like some of the bear stuff.
I get sick of the big flag like sweaters. I think those are we wore those in Rome. I don't know. I would say the collection
it's fine.
Average would be my report. I just think everything logos are too big. They're almost stuck in the middle. You either go like really big or you just go small. I don't know.
Love it or leave it, Neil.
I'll leave it, TC.
I'll leave it also.
Yeah, cop or drop. I'm going to drop.
I already left, so we'll see what Loro Piana has in store for my European. Probably be $300 polos and such.
A couple other news and notes. Ted Scott back on the bag for Scotty this week, so that's great news. And then Paul Azinger wins the Payne Stewart Award, which good for Azinger.
I figure we can tell. Yeah, Zinger. Good dude. Not sure he was a great commentator, but good dude. I think we can get into the schedule stuff on the Sunday pod. That's probably the best place for it. Right.
That works. Any LPGA updates, Randy, Cody?
Well, quickly, I'll just tease. We have an LPGA women's golf dedicated episode dropping tomorrow. The premise of that is going to be we dive into Cody, myself, and Jordan, dive into just things we're watching out for this fall, kind of the big stories to keep an eye on. And then the second part of that episode is going to be an interview with U.S. Women's AM champ Mega Gane. So check that out. I will say the women this week are at the Canadian Open. It's one of the better annual stops on the LPGA calendar. They're playing at Mississauga, which TC, I know, just outside Toronto, I believe. Yeah. Fun thing about the course, they've hosted the men's Canadian Open 6 times, not since 1974. This will be the first time the women are going to Mississauga. So I think it'll be a good venue, good test for them. LC, young hitter Lauren Coughlin is your defending champ, and she comes in on a good run of play. She's top 10, top 13, or T10, T13, T7 her last 3 starts. So hopefully we'll offer a spirited title defense there. And then quickly, I guess just a couple storylines. The LPGA is on an extreme run of parity. They have not had
Rolap would love it.
Yeah, Rolap. You want parity, dog. Get over to the LPGA. They have not had anybody win twice or more this season. In fact, they've had 23 different winners across 22 events. That's including the one team event. Nelly Korda has not won, so if you're looking for people to keep that streak going, she would be top of the list. And then the Japanese women, unfortunately, Mio Yamashita is not teeing it up this week, but you have Mao Saigo, you have Ryo Takeda, you have the EY twins. I think beyond them, there's 7 other Japanese women teeing it up. So good chance you'll see some Japanese names up near the top of the leaderboard this week in Canada.
And Randy, the strike is over. Air Canada flight attendant strike.
They're back.
They were all able to get there. I know those United flights were packed going up there. Porter Airlines, sure, people flying into Billy Bishop Airport, which DJ and I have looked at, potentially flying in there and doing a White Sox game and a Blue Jays game on the same day at some point, which would be crazy. It's right next to the Sky Dome there.
Yeah.
So. Did you guys see the Live Team Championship playing game today?
I didn't.
Yeah, I was too locked into the Creator Classic. What happened?
The Majestics beat the Ironheads in the playing game. Despite Kazuma and Na won 4-2 over Poulter and Stenson, but Westwood beat Danny Lee 1-up, and then Sam Horsfield beat Yubin Jang.
I mean, truly, I just don't know where the Ironheads go from here. It's going to be a tough off season. One point over the course of the season. TC, not good stuff from them. Yeah. What's up on the DP World Tour?
We've got the aforementioned Betfred British Masters presented by Sir Nick Faldo. It's at the Belfry. Not much to report on other than we got Captain LD. He's playing with Christopher Reitan, the plucky Norwegian. Potentially, see if he can make a last ditch effort for Ryder Cup. And then you've got Matt Fitzpatrick over there playing with Rasmus Højgaard and Alex Noren, and Marco Pang playing with Aaron Rye and Nikolai Højgaard. So, and then Brant Snedeker's playing for some reason. No idea why.
Interesting. Keeping up. He's doing scouting, man. He's trying to figure out what that Euro team's up to.
Yeah.
And I'll say this too. He didn't play last week. I can't remember where they're at, but Eddie Pepperell had a top 10 at the new Scottish event, and he's back. The tournament that he won in like 2015 or something like that. So he's playing this week at the British Masters. Excited to see him back in good form.
Sweet. Well, gentlemen, fun happy hour as always. Congrats to Soly on his hard fought 11th
his appearance
and his appearance. Thank you to FanDuel, thank you to Rhoback, thank you to SoFi, and we'll be back Sunday with live show after the Tour Championship. Cody, did I miss anything?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. Well,
And thank
in that
you
case,
to thank you to
What's up?
Brian Rolap and the search committee for it's salvation. We have salvation. Our long
Hope. We have hope.
international nightmare is over. We finally have hope. First time in 5, 6, 7 years. We have hope.
and on that note, thank you for sticking around, and we will see you Sunday.
FanDuel, the official sports book of No Laying Up, must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C. Gambling problems, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rghelp.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.